From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. More waiting for family and friends of two slain Alaska State Troopers.
That's right. There wasn't a seat left in the packed courtroom as loved ones of the troopers, Sergeant Scott Johnson and Trooper Gabe Rich, prepared to speak for the first time since they were murdered in Tanana on May 1st, 2014. It was to ask Superior Court Judge Paul Lyle to sentence the father of the alleged killer, Arvin Kangas, to the maximum amount of time allowed under the law. Arvin Kangas was convicted by a jury in April of 3 felony tampering with physical evidence charges after an audio recording caught Kangas and his son Nathaniel moving the troopers' service weapons and bodies after they had been killed. Many wanted to address the court this afternoon, but Judge Lyle ruled only family members of the officers could speak, saying he didn't want to turn the court into a, quote, community forum. Those family members did speak and for the first time told the court of the pain they have had to suffer due to who they believe was the catalyst of the murders.
My son showed you respect and tried to leave you with some dignity, and you took advantage of it. I truly believe that you are responsible for his death. I believe you knew what was on the other side of the door to your house. You should be standing trial for murder alongside your son.
Hearing Arvin Kangas testify and refer to my husband as a dead dog was dehumanizing and reveals his character, especially after he knowingly desecrated Scott's body. I would like to be able to walk away from this, but the matter of fact is Scott's murder is my sentence for the rest of my life. Scott's murder is the sentence for the rest of our children's lives.
Judge Lyle made no rulings this afternoon as to the amount of time Arvin Kangas will serve, if any, for the crimes he was convicted of. Now that decision will be made next Thursday, September 3rd.
A lawsuit was filed against Governor Bill Walker yesterday evening in Anchorage to stop his expansion of Medicaid. Legislative leaders approved the $450,000 suit last week. In July, Walker moved to accept federal money needed to expand the base of Alaskans who qualify for the Medicaid health subsidy after talks with the legislature yielded no action. Legislative leaders called the move by the governor unconstitutional. The Republican leaders who signed off on the legal challenge believe that Alaska may save money in the long run if Medicaid expansion fails. An Alaska law firm has offered to represent the governor without charge.
Their reason for it is they like the majority of Alaskans, share a passion for accepting the benefits of expanded Medicaid for Alaskans, and so they made this. I think it's an unprecedented offer, and we've accepted it. I'm sorry there's a lawsuit to begin with. I'm sorry that we didn't continue the path that some legislators in the majority had taken of beginning to work on reform legislation that would have addressed some of the concerns by those that were not in support of expanded Medicaid.
Since July 19th, Alaska State Troopers have been patrolling day and night, keeping an eye out for impaired drivers. The National Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over High Visibility Enforcement Campaign lasts through September 7th. It's designed to discourage impaired drivers from hitting the highways, particularly around the Labor Day holiday. While troopers will be doing their best to keep impaired drivers off the road, they also are asking for the public's help. If you see someone driving recklessly, you're asked to report it.
The last major holiday of the summer's coming up, the Labor Day weekend, so this Drive Sober, Get Pulled Over campaign is a part of that increased traffic flow. We know that at the end of the summer there's going to be extra traffic on the road, probably more impaired drivers. There's going to be folks out starting the hunting season, getting their last camping trips in. A lot more traffic on the road, and so we'll definitely be out there with extra patrols looking for impaired drivers.
All right, when we come back, as fall approaches, the Department of Transportation is wrapping up a lot of their construction, but there are still more projects to be finished. We'll tell you what.
Also, with the price of oil dropping so dramatically, this could be a big bonus this winter for homeowners, and we'll tell you why. These stories and more when we come back.
And welcome back. Soon, drivers will no longer see orange flags and signs redirecting traffic as the construction season comes to a close. Several road projects in the Fairbanks area are just about done, according to Department of Transportation and Public Facilities. The Airport Way Preventative Maintenance Project and the College Road Rehabilitation Project are both scheduled to be done near October. New weigh stations on the Richardson Highway are scheduled to be completed throughout the season. However, DOT spokeswoman Meadow Bailey says lane restrictions and flag operations will not continue throughout the season. Crews will be focusing on constructing the Richardson weigh stations from the inside out. However, Bailey says that the construction season is not over yet. Drivers are reminded to remain cautious near projects as crews continue their work.
When we have inclement weather like we have and a lot less light right now, it's really important that people are watching for the workers in the construction zone. So make sure you're driving with your lights on, make sure you slow down and observe the posted speed limits, and be really cautious as you're traveling through work zones. It is darker out and we have a lot of rain going on, it seems.
The price of a barrel of oil plummeted earlier this week to approximately $39 on the stock exchange. An energy specialist with the University of Alaska Fairbanks says that could mean cheaper heating just in time for the winter season. But is that enough for people relying on wood heat to make the switch to oil heating? The current price of home heating oil on average is about $2.79 a gallon. Now that means homeowners are paying about $279 for 100 gallons. Comparatively, the price of spruce wood is about $275 per quart. Birch wood averages at about $258 per quart. Energy specialist Art Nash says the price of oil by the gallon is likely to stay low throughout the winter. He adds that homeowners mulling over their options on which heating fuel is best for them have it relatively easy this year.
There are still differences as to the appliance that you buy. If you're with wood heat, obviously you have to have somebody to put the wood into the stove, and while you're gone on vacation during the middle of winter, have somebody check on your place if you have pipes that they don't bust. If you have an oil drip stove, it certainly won't be as efficient as, say, one of the direct vent stoves now that are common in homes and cabins.
The Department of Transportation and Public Facilities has notified several candidates for political seats in Fairbanks and North Pole about illegal campaign advertisements found on state highways. Public Information Officer Meadow Bailey says campaign signs placed within public highways are deemed unauthorized encroachments by law. This includes vehicles parked in rights-of-ways that are used to display advertisements. Political signs that endorse candidates are considered as outdoor advertising and are thus not allowed to be placed within 660 feet of the nearest edge of a right-of-way. Bailey says DOT will be giving candidates notice that they are currently in violation of the law. They will be given a 1-month notice to remove all signs that encroach on state roads.
It is definitely a courtesy that we would notify them. Otherwise, it is illegal. We expect them to try to pull them down. Yeah. And we're getting more complaints about it right now. It's a tough thing for us because we're always short-staffed, and so our people who usually would be working on right-of-way for projects are then taken off of that to go police campaign signs. So it's not a great use of our employees' time.
The unemployment rate throughout Alaska continued to remain stable during the month of July. Seasonal unadjusted levels hovered around 6.7%, only slightly different compared to the previous month. The joblessness snapshot throughout the interior is also relatively similar to measures taken a year ago. Economists project a dip in employment across the state as seasonal positions, which flood the market during the summer, leave a void for job seekers. The loss of summer jobs is not expected to be more substantial than in previous years. Economist Carolyn Schultz says the interior is largely affected by seasonal unemployment in the tourism and construction industries, despite having some large fall and winter employers.
There are some counter-cyclical employers like UAF that actually has higher employment in the winter, but that isn't enough to cancel out the big summer upswing in employment. And that's true for the Fairbanks North Star borough, but it's especially true for the neighboring boroughs and census areas in the interior region. The Denali borough, for instance, is one of the most seasonal economies in the whole state.
All right, up next in sports, Ice Dogs hockey will be starting up very soon, believe it or not.
I know, that's got me excited. Okay, Joe Cook will have more info on that. Plus, he stopped by West Valley High School as the volleyball team gets ready for their first game.
Sports is after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with your local Wednesday Sportscast. The rain is falling and the temperatures are starting to drop just a tad. Hockey season is almost here, folks. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs will have their kickoff to the 2015-2016 season this weekend. Saturday is the first event of the year. The 15th annual golf scramble. The scramble has a shotgun start at 9 a.m. at the Fairbanks Golf Course. Players will begin arriving this weekend. You'll be able to meet some of the new guys and the returners. This Sunday, August 30th at the Big Dipper is the first day of training.
The players are going to report 27th, 28th of August. Golf tournament on Saturday the 29th. Got a couple spots open. Get a hold of me or again at the office here if you're interested in putting a team. It's going to be on the website. You'll see it on Facebook, etc. We're only bringing 26 guys up to camp. Had a very nice camp in July, and it was a good camp. It was a really good camp, and I think we like the way things have come together. It's all on a little bit early yet, but I think we're going to look forward to another great year on the ice.
Going to high school sports now, and another season opener in volleyball won a full 5 sets. The Allison Ravens overcame the visiting North Pole Patriots on Tuesday night in the season opener for both teams. The Ravens went up 2-1, but the Patriots, they forced a 5th set with a 25-23 win in the 4th. However, Allison, they get the final set 15-10 for the victory. Rachel Ashlock led the Ravens with 27 digs, while Lexi Smith added 6 aces and 8 assists. The Patriots, they will host Monroe this Thursday in their next game. Staying with volleyball, we stop at West Valley High School where the Wolfpack are preparing for their first game. The girls got in their last practice today before their first game. West Valley will be on the road to start the year. They play Wasilla tomorrow. The Wolfpack finished 7th in the state tournament last year despite defeating eventual state champion South and state runner-up Diamond in the regular season. They also captured their sixth straight Mid-Alaska Conference title and only lost 2 regular season games. This season, head coach Dave Cox has a younger team led by 4 seniors, Stella Knox, Ruthie Hebert, Kaya Campbell, and Amber Schmid. Hebert and Knox return with 5 all-tournament picks between them from last season. Coach Cox also sees some promising juniors and sophomores contributing this year as well. Physically, this team looks a lot different than a year ago, but that may not hinder the Wolfpack from being one of the better teams in the state.
We're short. We're really short, which is weird. Last year we had a lot of height coming in, and we're pretty defense heavy, but like a lot of girls are stepping up and getting at the net, so I think we're really going to be a big net presence this year.
We're definitely focusing a lot on our attacking because our defense is a pretty solid thing right now, so we're focusing on using our attacks and putting it in the right spot, hoping to help us get a little bit more points.
That's the one area I'm probably most confident, is I have some big hitters, and they can hit from anywhere on the court. I'm very curious to see how we do tomorrow. Just as much as anybody else, but I think our hitting will carry us as long as we can keep our head.
Local swimmers will be hopping back in the pool this weekend for the prep swimming season. The first meet of the year, the Lathrop Invitational, is this Friday and Saturday at the Hammy Pool. Everyone will be aiming for the program in the interior. The West Valley Wolfpack, the boys and girls teams for the pack, have won the last 7 region titles. There are other interior hopefuls, not only in the region, but in the state. Last year, individual state titles escaped interior swimmers as Kodiak, Juneau, and Diamond won numerous events. Locally, the Patriots, Malamutes, Hawks, and Rams will field competitive teams to challenge the pack and develop their own state caliber swimmers. Lathrop Invitational starts Friday at 6 and Saturday at 11 o'clock. This year's field includes North Pole, West Valley, Palmer, Hutchinson, and Monroe. Lastly, a note on some recent schedule changes for a couple of high school sports. Thanks to the rain in tennis, Hutchinson is slated to take on West Valley at the Dan Ramras Community Tennis Course this Friday at 4:30. And Lathrop, they are set to play the Patriots at North Pole High School this coming Monday at 3 o'clock. In football, Monroe's game against Reddington this Saturday has been canceled. The new school near Wasilla didn't get enough players to field a football team this season. But that's it for sports tonight. When will all the rain clear out? Find out next with Mike Schultz, who has your weather forecast. And as always, we'll catch you next time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back into our Wednesday night edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again. Boy, what a nasty day across the interior today. We had lots of rain, close to 3/4 of an inch at the airport at least, and the winds are gusting. We're looking at gusty winds throughout the night, so keep that in mind. It's going to be a really ugly evening. As far as our photograph for tonight, this is a beautiful one. This was taken by Smitty. That's what his friends call him. And this was the morning sunrise on the Chena. Once again, gorgeous colors, the beautiful pinks and the brights, reds and oranges and everything. And that, again, as always, if you have a photograph that you want to share, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Right now, 52 degrees. That's our high for the day. The overnight low, 45. It's still raining in, windy out there. The record high was 76 in 1987. Record low, 31 in 1965. Sunrise and sunset, about 15 hours and 25 minutes, a loss of 7 minutes from yesterday. The satellite radar once again showing this front blowing through really with a strong jet stream behind it. And again, we're still getting a lot of moisture coming off of the Bering Sea, moving through the interior, giving us those pockets of rain. And things are starting to clear out a little bit. And our latest radar, as you zoom in around the Fairbanks area, you see a steady flow of moisture coming in from the west to the east, moving right across the Fairbanks area, so no let up in sight for right now. What else is going on across the state? Well, over southeast Alaska, they're getting ready for a lot of rain. In fact, it's all with that frontal system we showed you earlier. Juneau, 66, 70 degrees at Ketchikan before the clouds moved in. Over the Anchorage Bowl, 65 degrees, a little shower activity there. Showers around Kodiak Island, 65 also. Cold Bay, 61, warming up from yesterday, cloudy skies. Up on the west coast, it looks really nice. 56 degrees, partly cloudy skies at Nome, and 53 at Bethel with, again, clear to partly cloudy skies. North of the North Slope, 40 degrees at Barrow with cloudy skies, and Fort Yukon, 55, and also cloudy. Lower 48 weather looks like this, and again, we're talking about hot temperatures around the Denver area. They finally cooled off around Salt Lake City. Once again, very, very warm over the desert southwest. Another warm day in Seattle, 83 degrees there. Minneapolis, 75, partly cloudy skies. Things are still pretty warm around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 95 degrees there. Thunderstorms rumbling all over the deep south, and over the northeast, it's mainly partly cloudy to clear skies. Chicago, only 67 degrees for their high. On the satellite and radar, you can see a lot of energy moving across the southwest, all in association with that high pressure ridge that's helping to usher that in from the south and take it over the top. That combined with the heating is bringing more thunderstorm activity, and not a good thing for the folks over the Pacific Northwest as hot temperatures continue. And more expected tomorrow as the heat will expand all over the western half of the country. And temperatures once again will be way above normal, and humidities, right, will also add to the fire danger there. The jet stream, the newest outlook, is calling for a big dive down to the south across the Great Lakes. That will usher in some more thunderstorm activity over the Great Lakes, while out to the west, it'll start to cool down a little bit over the west coast. Even some rain moving back in the picture for the northwest, and they'll be greeting that with lots of enthusiasm. Back to Alaska for tomorrow, rain and snow showers in the Barrow region, cloudy skies at Nome, lingering rain for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior tomorrow, looking at rain continuing for Delta Junction, rain showers at Fairbanks, and rain and snow in Healy. That's right, rain and snow. And as far as southeast Alaska, heavy rains moving back in for Juneau. Rain will be developing at Ketchikan with a temperature of 60 degrees at Ketchikan, while over the southwest part of the state, rain showers at Cold Bay and Bethel, and mostly cloudy skies for Kodiak. And down around the Anchorage Bowl, looking at mostly cloudy skies at Anchorage, partly cloudy skies at Homer, and showers likely for Valdez. All right, time once again for our kids' weather. And we're doing weather facts this week. And the weather fact is really interesting because it takes place in Alaska. In 1976, Kiana, Alaska, 24 miles north of the Arctic Circle, had a weak tornado touch down. Yes, we can get tornadoes in Alaska. They're very weak, but still good enough to qualify as a tornado. And as always, thanks again to Mount McKinley Bank celebrating 50 years of service to the Fairbanks area. And a reminder, next week we'll be visiting with the kids at Anderson Elementary School at Eielson Air Force Base. One note to pass along for all you truckers, you should be aware that snowfall of more than 3 inches is likely from Anativik Pass northward, and snow is also possible in the Denali Park area tonight and tomorrow night. Keep that in mind. Our forecast, again, as you can see the 5-day outlook, we're looking at showers once again on Friday, cloudy skies on Saturday and Sunday, and Monday will be partly cloudy skies with Tuesday showers. The temperatures, again, around the low to mid 50s, overnight lows dropping down to chilly conditions. We might even see some possible rain and snow Friday night here, but it'll be gone by the next morning because it'll rise back up to 50 degrees, but still interesting.
Very interesting weather, especially snow for football. Nice.
Not in August.
Yeah,
this is
ridiculous. It's okay. We'll make it through, Joe. All right, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
And in case you have not heard it, tonight on NBC Nightly News, an angry former employee shot a reporter and her cameraman live on TV this morning in Virginia. That's up next with Lester Holt.
So sad.
Yeah, you can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webster11.com.
And of course, all of us here, we pay our respects to those two reporters and to the station and families and friends. So, all right, with that said, from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a good night.
Good night.